Chodesh Tov, everyone. Happy new moon of Adar. This month that invites in play and aliveness and joy and laughter and leaning into uncertainty and not away from it. I'm Jenna Zadaka. I'll give a few teachings over and then we'll come into a meditation to really embody this sacred moment in time, to really unearth the joy that is inherent within us. And I like to call this meditation the inner smile, but really it is leaning into whatever is alive within you with presence and love. So a few important things about this Hebrew month of Adar. Firstly, it says when Adar comes in, we increase in joy. And this month is in a period of 3 successive full moon holidays. So last month in the Hebrew calendar, the month of Shvat, culminated on the full moon of Shvat, known as Tu B'Shvat, which was the arousal of abundance and pleasure. It was our sap, our roots rejuvenating, filling us up again with renewed energy and life force. So it was a time of moving from the winter stagnation into something new is being born beneath the surface. And that really spills over into Adar, which the full moon of Adar is the holiday of Purim. So Adar is the moon of joy. That pleasure and abundance that we let rise through our roots last month spills over to the joy moon of Adar this month. And this month we also get to crown ourselves as queen, become our sovereign selves. And we couldn't do that without first coming into a healthy inner tree, a healthy trunk that flows, a healthy nervous system that's connected to its roots. So last month, we really allowed the inner tree of life to restore and renew. And now that we have a healthy trunk, or at least beginning to feel into the aliveness of our trunk, we can sit into our trunks, our thrones of majesty, of sovereignty, and queen ourselves as the confident, beautiful, sexy, joyful queen that we are, or king, however you want to define yourself. So that doesn't end there, because the full moon of Purim, of Adar, spills into next month of Nisan. The full moon of Nisan is Passover, the moon of freedom. So once we are in our sovereign self, we can then help others and our surroundings to be free. We get to just continue expanding that joy into full freedom. So it's a beautiful journey that we're on. And this month of Adar, the name of the month is really powerful. Firstly, it comes from the word Adir, which means strength and endearment. But what I love about this word, Adar, is you can break it up into 2 parts, Aleph and Dar. Aleph is the Hebrew letter of oneness, of divinity, of unity. This is like our soul, our life force. And Dar means dwelling, like the vessel of our body. So if you put them together, Adar is a time to draw down the infinite oneness, the unity of God, and fill it up in our vessels. And that is how we experience joy. Because when Adar comes in, we increase in joy. When we can feel our soul animating our body fully, that is the experience of joy. And when I say joy, I don't only mean happiness. Joy can be whatever is arising and being present with what is. If you see someone crying, really moving through a big emotion, from the outside it looks painful, like sadness, but for the person actually moving through their grief, it could feel like joy. Being congruent with any emotion. is a feeling of joy. And I'm going to read a quote by Rabbi Alan Liu. Oh, sorry, just checking my internet. Okay, I think we're good. There's a quote by Rabbi Alan Liu who talks about this joy that is really the full spectrum of emotion that really encapsulates the human experience. So let me read this quote to you. This is from his book, This is Real, and You Are Completely Unprepared. He says, when we speak of joy here, we're not speaking of fun. Joy is a deep release of the soul, and it includes death and pain. Joy is any feeling fully felt, any experience we give our whole being to. We are conditioned to choose pleasure and to reject pain, but the truth is, any moment of our life fully inhabited, any feeling fully felt, and any immersion in the full depth of life can be a source of deep joy. So this is the joy that we experience in Adar, when the oneness gets to be filled in our vessel, when our breath is fully felt, when we can tune into our heartbeat as the pulse of creation or a sensation in the body. Being present with what is really is how we're defining joy this month of Adar. And that also brings us Adar, the strength. What does it mean to be in our queendom, to be in our trunk, in our sovereign self? It means to be fully inhabiting your story and your full capacity to be with your life and whatever needs to move through you. Joy this month is also about stepping into our purpose. Because when we're in a flow of purpose, it doesn't matter how challenging things are. We are full of aliveness and vitality. We see this in the story of the Megillah of Queen Esther, when she really had to be reminded of her purpose to step forward fully into her joy. Mordecai reminds her when she's in a really dark, challenging place filled with uncertainty and shrouded with mystery. Mordecai says, perhaps this is the reason that you've been created. Reminding her that even in our lowest moment, when we're so confused or lost, perhaps this is why you were created, for this moment, to be here in this dark puddle or wherever you are, in this muck, in this grime, in this challenging thought or emotion. Perhaps this is why you are created. To feel purpose in it is going to bring you so much joy and help you move through. So we have joy in the present moment. We have joy in purpose. And also Purim and this full moon of Adar shows us that joy doesn't just come from the revealed good, but it comes from hiddenness. And the story of the Megillah is all about hidden miracles, being within the natural world, not obvious revelations of joy, but really small pockets of miracles that piece together a larger story of how the divine really is part of all that we do. The name Queen Esther, who is the heroine of this Purim story of the Megillah that we celebrate this month, her name literally means Queen of Hiddenness. Queen of Hiddenness. And the book that is customarily read this month on Purim, Megillat Esther, literally means Megillah revealing, Hester, the hidden, revealing the hidden. This is such a source of joy, to reveal the hidden. There is so much joy hidden and locked in frozen, unknown, stuck places of the body. If we can go into that hiddenness with trust, through the lens of I am unearthing joy and aliveness, we can come into any frozen emotion or grief or trauma and unleash it so that we can bring it back into our wholeness. And the whole purpose of moving through the Hebrew calendar and these zodiacs and through sacred time is to come into our wholeness, not with just the pleasant emotions, but also the unpleasant ones. So we get to ask ourselves, what is hidden that wants to come back into revelation and be included in my sense of self? Because our queendom must occupy all of ourself, not just part of ourself, not just the public front-facing self, but our shadow, the back of ourself. The journey is our offering, and that journey could include triggers and traumas and shadows and grief. We want to include all of that. That's our queendom, bringing it all into wholeness. Ultimately, this month is about stepping beyond our logic mind and going into the place of the unknown. There's a mitzvah, a divine commandment on Purim, to be intoxicated to the point where we don't know the difference between blessed be Mordechai and cursed be Haman. And really, the Slonimer Rebbe says the essence of Purim is to come to a place of ad lo yada, a place where we just don't know. Not I don't know, I'm just dumb, but I don't know, I trust in the unknown. A holy unknowingness, a holy uncertainty, being able to unravel our grips of needing to know and grip onto logic and understanding and open ourselves to the divine mystery of oneness that is so hidden. The miracles are abundant, but beneath the surface. So every Hebrew month, we activate different energies, and Adar is specifically where we enter the crown. Of course, the crown, Keter, in the Tree of Life, the highest aspect of the tree, alludes to Queen Esther. And many people wear crowns on Purim. But mystically, Keter is the highest point of the Tree of Life, the crown that is beyond logic. We have the intellectual sphere, the intellectual energy centers, but one beyond that is Keter, beyond logic, into the realm of faith, belief, trust, into the unknown, above our understanding. That's where we are asked to enter to, ad lo yada. And the acronym of Adar literally means the head that does not know. The head that does not know, alluding to the Keter, the crown. What's so beautiful is in this realm of Keter, we have, Kabbalah teaches, a seat of tainug, pleasure, and also of ratzon, desire. When we get to the unknown with trust, there's abundance of desire and pleasure. Desire and pleasure is what makes us alive and full of sap and life force and juiciness, and that's what makes us yummy and attractive and attracting, and all the things that make a queen who she is comes from ratzon and tainug. Can we let ourselves be showered with this divine pleasure? That's what we get when we enter the crown, the place of holy uncertainty, releasing our grip on what we think we need to know and allowing the mysteries to unfold. Finding joy there. That is the message of Adar. One more element that I'll add before our meditation is, well, two, but they'll go together. The zodiac of Adar is the dagim, the two fish swimming away from each other. They represent the unseen, the realm beneath the surface. Just like fish are under the water, yet completely encompassed by their source of nourishment. The nourisher herself encompassing those fish. So too, when we can lean back into those places of the unseen and the unknown and know that we are surrounded by our source of oneness and pleasure, then we get to come into that water element, which is also the element of Adar, is water. Last month was wind, Shvat. Now we're in the water month. And water allows us to move those places that are stuck, frozen, stagnant, into fluidity, into flow, to find new ways to move like a fish. So we're not just linear and stuck, but we can move in new ways and discover joy and aliveness in different directions, different forms. In Kabbalah, water is chesed, oneness. Water represents love and kindness, the realm of oneness. So there's so much more to chat about with Adar, but I want us to come into our meditation. And if you're new to meditation, feel free to pause anytime you need. Feel free to listen to your own body. If anything feels triggering or uncomfortable, everything I say is just a suggestion. So the invitation is to really listen to yourself and take care of yourself. And you can find a comfortable seat. You're always welcome to make micro movements, shifts. My meditations are never completely still. I welcome any movements of the body. They are included. And as you close your eyes, we're right away practicing this trust, entering the unseen realms, going into those hidden places. Remember, Megillat Esther, revealing the hidden, allowing the trust, just right away closing the eyes, immense trust as we descend into our inner world. And you can go ahead and take some comfortable breaths as you arrive in your body. You might want to bring your palms to your thighs or roll the shoulders back. Let the hips sink into the chair or ground. You're always welcome to lay down. And let your breath flow in and out naturally. Like every breath is caressing you from the inside, making contact with yourself from the inside with every breath. Softening the muscles of the face, releasing the jaw. And imagining you're sinking deeper and deeper into the unseen, just like the fish, the dagim in the water, moving into those hidden subterranean places. You may even want to bring your hands to your low belly as if you're entering your inner waters. Every breath takes you deeper and deeper beneath the surface of your skin, into your inner waters and pools of infinity. And we'll ask our body to reveal what is hidden. Megillat Esther, revealing what is hidden. Maybe you want to rub your belly. Maybe you want some taps. You can tap, just awakening the body to show you what is needing to Move into the surface. Move into the scene to be witnessed. And as we're tapping the body or rubbing the body or just holding hands on the body, noticing what arises. Maybe there's pockets of joy. Maybe there's moments of pain, of grief. Maybe there's a visual, a sound, a sensation, or maybe even just a change of the course of your breath. Welcoming whatever wants to arise from the bottom up. Any micro movements are welcome. Perhaps there's some rocking or shaking or rolling or yawning. That's just your body sharing with you. Moving the energy. Deep, full breaths. Beautiful. Stay with whatever's arising. Continue deepening the breath. Softening into safety as you allow whatever needs to be revealed to come to the surface. And you can say to your body, I welcome whatever is here. And we'll let this meditation be a pause for joy. And remember, joy means any feeling fully felt, anything you give your entire attention to. So whatever you're feeling now, see if you can drop into it fully, whether it's your heartbeat, your breath, or the feeling of your sit bones on your chair, or an emotion that is bubbling up in you. See if you can direct your full awareness, witnessing, noticing whatever is there. And as we tune into our sensation and slow things down, we can remind ourselves, this is a joyous moment. This heartbeat, this breath, this weight on the ground, this is a joyous moment. Beautiful. And now we'll really invite in those Adar breaths, bringing the Aleph into the Dar, the oneness into the vessel. So on our inhale, let's imagine we're inviting in the Aleph, the life force, the spirit, the breath to fill us up. We're drawing it in, filling up our vessel like we're overflowing. We're in a full moon moment, spilling over with life force. And then the dar, we, on the exhale, release the aleph back to our creator, back to the source. So on the inhale, filling ourselves up with the aleph, the soul fills the body. And the exhale, we surrender and give it back to the universe, releasing into the unknown. Good. A few more like that. Inhale, drawing in the aleph, filling up the lungs, filling up the soul and the body, animating your vessel completely. Exhale, empty out completely, letting it go into Ad Lo Yada, into the place of unknown, releasing all that we know. Good. Inhale, pull it in, draw it into the body, fill yourself up like water being filled up into a cup, or light filling up the moon. Exhale, surrender, let it go. Give it all back. The head that does not know, just releasing all logic into the arms of the Creator. Good. A few more breaths like that at your own pace. If there's any place that you do not feel your aleph yet, send that breath towards those areas. Wherever the aleph is not yet touching, let's invite it into even the most unknown places in the body. And every breath that our aleph fills our dar, we come into our strength, our power, occupying the body fully with our life force. That is our true power and queendom. And we can hold whatever is right here, whether it's joy or pain, or anything in between. A few more breaths. Beautiful. Last month in Shvat, we came into our roots, the roots below and roots above. So for a moment, I want you to visualize those deep, healthy roots. Grounding us into the wider systems of support, connecting us to the oneness above and oneness below. And just like those roots woke up with sap on Tu B'Shvat, drawing that sap in through the roots, imagining all of that rejuvenation is arriving in the trunk, in our throne. However you want to visualize that sap as an energy or life force or nectar of life filling up your trunk, bring your hands to your trunk. Imagine this trunk is so alive and juicy, full of smiling energy. And just notice where in your body has this smiling, light, expansive energy. And then notice where in your body feels like contracted or restricted, tight places. Just honoring both. And we'll gift ourselves an inner smile. So imagining that you're just shining a smiling countenance onto your entire body. Your higher self, your greater self, or the divine, the Shekhinah, whatever you want to imagine it, just a smiling countenance, shining energy filling your body. We can even imagine our feet on the earth by the roots. Last month in Adar, imagining that beneath the roots, there's wet, juicy, smiley energy, and we're pulling it up through the roots. Softening, opening. And bring our hands to our low belly as that smiling energy raises itself into the low belly, into the womb. And you can tell your womb, your low belly, I send my smiling energy into my low belly. I smile upon this womb, this low belly, gifting my magic, my lightness. Feel the low belly fill up with a smiling energy. This can be any color or texture, any visual that you that comes up, filling up with smiling energy. Then raising your hands from the low belly, up your center column into your heart. I smile inwardly towards my heart space. I smile inwardly towards my heart space. Imagine that smiling pool of energy filling up your heart. You may notice an element like water or air, or color, or little smiley faces, or however you want to imagine it, filling up with smiling energy. Then raise your hands up through the throat into your third eye, above the brow, and say to yourself, I smile inwardly towards my third eye, my higher knowing. Let that smiling energy fill your mind and brain. Our ability to laugh in the face of the unknown, to meet paradox and duality, to see goodness and positivity. I smile inwardly. And now we're going to take one step higher into our crown. Imagine you're leaving the brain and stepping into the crown, the Keter. This is a big jump for some of us. Imagining that smiling pool of energy above the crown. Entering the place of the unknown, beyond logic, the oneness above us. And see the smiling energy or a sun or luminescent light filled with pleasure and desire. And here we get to release and throw our heads back in laughter in the face of the unknown. We get to trust in what is beyond us. And Kabbalah teaches an arousal from below elicits an arousal from above. So now that we've lifted the smiling energy up to the Keter, the crown, now we'll imagine all of that energy, the desire, the pleasure, our queenliness from above shower upon us. It's like a waterfall pouring over us, melting over the mind and face, over the throat and the shoulders, front of the heart, back of the heart, down the torso, over the pelvis, thighs, washing all the way down into the soles of the feet. One big, shining, smiling waterfall of joy, presence, connection. And maybe you just want to open into that waterfall or shake in it, or palms open, or however you want to be in that waterfall, letting it all flow down. Then bring your hands onto your trunk, onto your torso. See yourself as the queen that you are. Notice the crown on your head. See yourself full of sovereignty and confidence in your pleasure, in your desire, in your flow. And notice, what does your queen look like, move like, act like? How does she talk? What is she doing? Just observe. You're welcome to pause the video and stay here for as long as you need, observing your queen, smiling upon your queen. And if you're ready to move into the rest of your day, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, and gently open your eyes and look into your surroundings, just reorienting to your environment around you. And if you have a few minutes to really journal, what does your queen look like? And where can you invite or unearth some more joy and vitality this month? That is your homework. You're welcome to share that with me, or any insights, feedback. I'd love to hear from you if you are practicing with me. And thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your Adar, and from one queen to the other. Thank you.